Hello everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new video where we're gonna talk about newbies because I know you love this subject. So, what is the point of this video? I want to highlight something, and I don't think I'm the only one that sees this actually happening in the game, but the more I play, the more noobs I face, or the more noobs I have in my team, and even at higher tier such as tier 10. And I'm not complaining about my teams. I mean, I do it enough in stream not to do it in video as well, but what I mean by that is I know I'm an extremely aggressive player, and I expect my team to be as aggressive as I am. That's wrong, because I know that most of the time when I play extremely aggressively, nobody's gonna help me. And that's logic, because to play extremely aggressively, you need to have some knowledge on the maps, on tanks you're facing, the tank you are owning, etc. But still, that's not the subject of the video, but I just wanted to say that even if we have noobs in our team, sometimes it's also our fault, and we don't have to just put everything on the back of our teammates. But why this video? Because most of the time when I play my tier 10, I expect my team to have some basic knowledge on how to play the game, or at least read map, and nobody knows that. I took these two replays you're gonna watch here to highlight this. Look at this. The first thing they did, they split it. We have half of the enemy team on one side, half on the other side, and our team decided to go on one side only. Our team is 100% sure to win. Why? Just because it's not right. You just don't do that. You just don't split your team at tier 10, because if you do that, you're gonna get completely destroyed, and that's exactly what is happening for now. We killed 2 tanks, they killed none, and that's logic. And I mean, at tier 10 you should know that. You should at least know that one of the first rule to lose a game is to split. But no, these guys don't care. And look at this. Same for the mechanism. Look at this. The mediums are camping. Instead of trying to circle us or try to help the team actively, they are just camping. And I thought, hey, why? Why do we have more noobs at tier 10 than we ever had? And I thought there are at least 3 main things. The first one is the 5.5 update. For those of you who didn't play for before the 5.5 update, we had this update that just removed all the tanks that had some specific gameplay at lower tier. Why? You could tell yourself that's great, because it means that we have only easy tanks to play at lower tier, so it's better because it's gonna fit the newbie better, because the newbie don't have the basics to play these tanks correctly. I understand your point of view, but I disagree. Why? Because these specific gameplays, the specific mechanisms of the tanks that got removed are essential at tier 10. Because that's the same mechanism, but you just have to take them at least 5 tier higher. And it's gonna be even more punitive for you at tier 10 if you don't know the basics than it is if you are playing tier 3, tier 2 or tier 1. And I think Wargaming did a pretty shitty update, and overall everybody's thinking that, because it means it's gonna align all the gameplays of all the players on the same tanks, which means we just erased the specificities of each tanks just to make the game easier for the newbie. But we don't want an easier game. That's not what we want. What we want is teammates actually knowing what they're doing with their tank, and god damn it, we are far from this objective. The next thing for me is the Black Friday event, because for 5k gold you are able to get a tier 8 premium. 5k gold is not a lot. I mean, you can maybe I'm not saying it's a really great offer. I'm just saying that for 5k gold pretty much everybody can own a tier 8. Except if you're living in an extremely poor country, but that's not the subject here. But still, I just wanted to say that with a 5k gold tier 8, you are gonna have your tanks easier. It's gonna be easier for you to get your tanks. It's gonna be easier to grind. Even if you suck with your tier 8, you're gonna make more money by doing some shitty game with a tier 8 premium than doing a great game at tier 3 with a premium. That's logic, because we are not talking about the same tier. We are 5 tier higher, and we have a much better credit coefficient. And that's a huge problem, because when Wargaming does this, they just allow you to ruin the tier 8 matchmaking for players knowing what they're doing, because you're gonna be useless. I mean, if you don't even know how to play a tier 5 correctly, how do you even think you can handle a tier 8 with more skilled players? No, impossible, just impossible. And for the last thing, I think that's the fact that the player base is growing, and it's not growing with mature player. But that's logic, that's a game, that's a phone game, because we are filled with kids, and kids don't care. They don't want to learn how to play, they just want to have fun. And it can explain the fact that sometimes you have people in your team YOLOing instead of trying to get better, etc. But you can't really mind kids. That's logic. Kids are here to have fun, not to learn. You learn with maturity, and you acquire maturity while growing up. So it will come, but it will come slowly. There are a lot of impacts. I already told about them, but for me the main impact that is upsetting me is that it's completely unequal on a game. I mean, when you lose or when you win, your number of damage is gonna be completely different. You don't have losses, not a lot. You don't have a lot of losses that finish with, for example, 7-5 or 7-4. Most of the time, when you lose, such as this game is proving us, it's more a 7-2 or a 7-3. And if you lose all your team in that much time, you are probably not going to be able to do your damage. And it will result in you being in a team where tier 10 players clearly don't fit the tier 10 playstyle. As we saw previously with the Foch 155 and the IS-4, we just completely destroyed everybody without... It was not even a challenge. I mean, it was so easy. They were just aligned in front of us, and we just had to shoot. There is no skill needed. That's the word. No skill needed anymore. And if you don't acquire basic mechanisms with lower tier, don't expect yourself to be a good player at tier 10 or tier 9 or tier 8 or even tier 7. So maybe the main question we can ask now is how to fix it. Because Wargaming already tried to fix it by, for example, putting bots for players above 5k battles to play with, but I don't think that's enough, because you don't learn how to play the game in only 5,000 battles. In my opinion, to be able to understand the game, you need to play at least between 10 to 15,000 battles. But it's quite impossible. You're not gonna be able... I mean, you can't really fix the problem. Why? Because if you put bots for people between 10 and 15k battles, you're not gonna get anybody to play with in a regular game, because there are not a lot of people that are playing above 15k battles. I don't think we have a lot of them. Therefore, we need to work with what we have, and maybe the I would say that that's the community job. That's you guys that can highlight these players that they are not playing correctly, but you don't need to do it in a mean way. I mean, just tell them, for example, that's gonna sound sarcastic what I'm saying now, but you can tell them, hey, maybe I saw what you did in battle, maybe you didn't really understand how to play your tank, because I saw that the way you placed your tank is wrong. You know what, for example, check this YouTuber, and I'm not talking about me. You can tell him to watch Droodle, Mitzi, Every Good Name Is Taken. There are plenty of YouTubers that are doing a great work, and you can tell him, hey, try to watch this YouTuber to understand how to play your tank. Or you can even say, hey, go in platoon with me to maybe try to improve yourself. And I think that's what we need to do right now. We need to act as a community. And I really hope we are gonna be able to achieve this as a community, because that would be great. So that was all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If that's the case, feel free to subscribe, like and share. And don't forget that you're not here to be better, but to be the best. Pantoufleee over.